Let's turn to business news now with our business editor, Giles Beckford. Just in from Michelle. That's a new jacket, Giles, isn't it? A shopping frenzy. You look very smart. Wherever you bought it from. The Financial Markets Authority, the FMA, is putting out guidelines on what it regards as acceptable for behaviour for companies and people involved in the finance sector.
They are indeed. They're just starting to flex their muscles a wee bit, the FMA. Remember, they are now the sheriff of the financial markets. They're looking after investment companies, superannuation companies, the advisors who give investment advice. And so they're starting to say, we expect to see certain levels of behaviour. And from their point of view, they're putting out these guidelines, which they hope companies will start to abide by and people who are working for the companies will abide by. Essentially, it says the customers will come first. That's the bottom line for them, and that the companies who are offering financial services or products should be transparent about things such as commissions, the way they market the products, the training of their staff. So all in all, it's seeking to raise the level of behaviour, the better behaviour for consumers and treatment of consumers. It's just discussion at the moment. It's not prescriptive. In other words, they're not rules and regulations, but the FMA says if when it starts to visit companies it finds that they're not living up to these sorts of guidelines, then it might get a little bit grumpy. And from that point of view, it says if people in fact start breaching the legal sanctions that are there, then perhaps they just won't find that there's too much tolerance of their behaviour. So it's a good step, but they're draft at the moment.
And they're asking for feedback, right?
They are indeed on the FMA website, and they want feedback by October the 31st. So plenty of time there. Read them through. Consumers will be the beneficiaries.
Thanks, Giles. The NBR Rich List, the annual Rich List, is out today.
I've got it here, John. There it is. They're most important, of course. It's one of the Bible of wealth for this country.
Yes, and who's on it? The usual suspects?
Well, it goes without saying. Graham Hart is at the top. Only worth $7 billion this year. He's had a wee bit of a hit. He's down $2 billion on last year. And that reflects the fact that his companies or his broad empire is in fact quite heavily debt-laden. And from that point of view, it impinges on his wealth. Other names there, we've got Richard Chandler, who's a Singapore-based investment guru. He's worth $4.2 billion. The top 8 people are all billionaires, and they're worth about $20 billion.
Wow. And
then there are 190 people on the list overall. They're worth about $60 billion. And I have to say, and the Prime Minister is there. He comes in around 175 with, I think, $60 million. There are some newcomers, and I have to say I was a little bit surprised to see some people who I don't really know, and I don't know where they're getting their money from.
What are they? There's a picture of me in there.
Well,
You're
there
joking.
You go. Well, it's the Bible of wealth, and you wouldn't distrust it, would you?
What are they saying? Hold on. What does it say beside me?
It says, sources of finance unknown, questionable.
Thoroughly questionable, as is my very presence in that august periodical. To goodness gracious. Take us to the markets, Giles.
We might, just for the sake of legality, say that we think that bit was added, not by the NBR people. Possibly. Not saying anything, no names, no pactoral. The markets,
I just about had a myocardial infarction.
I'm sure you can get something for it, but you won't get it on the share market, which was up just a handful of points, 73.06. New Zealand dollar, 71.1 US cents, 94.5 Australian.
Giles, just before Vernon Small puts in an OAA about what I'm paid, can we just sorry. Thanks very much indeed, Giles Beckford, our business editor, live from Wellington.